This video is made possible by our loyal Patreon supporters. Visit patreon.com/Psychetruth.
I have tons of awesome videos already ready for you. You can join me on Amazon Prime Video. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell. Follow us on social media for tips, tutorials, giveaways, and daily inspiration. Hey, welcome. In today's video, I have something super special for you. We have an amped up cardio flow. So this is going to be a yoga flow where we're going through our sun salutations, which we've already covered in this 30-day course, but we're going to add a little spice to them. So every time we go through another round of a sun A or a sun B, we'll have a little moment to get a cardio burst or a fitness burst in. So this is going to help you increase your stamina. The little bursts of cardio and fitness is going to also increase the total caloric burn of this class, and you're going to feel super duper strong when you're done. So meet me on your mat. Here in a kneeling seat is just fine to start. On a deep breath in, reach your arms up overhead. Good, and as you exhale, bring your right elbow underneath your left in eagle. And if eagle arms doesn't work for you, you can always take your hands to your shoulders. We're taking this stretch because we will be in plank quite a bit in this practice, and I want you to have a lot of space for your shoulders today. Lift your elbows up in front of your heart. Breathe big and wide into your back body. Good, release the arms, swing them back up. Take the other side, eagle the arms. Cross your left elbow under your right elbow or grab for your shoulder heads. Elbows stay up in line with the heart. Breathe into your upper back. Good, one more time like that. Wonderful, take your hands behind your back, a little interlaced, open up the chest, broadening across from collarbone to collarbone. Great, one more deep breath in, all the way out. Since we are going to offer a little extra cardio burst to this flow, if you're using your Ujjayi breath, the in and out through the nose, know that you can switch at any time and allow the heat to come out of your mouth. That'll help you if you're feeling overheated during your practice, and know that you can always come to child's pose. That's a great place to catch your breath and jump back in whenever you're ready. So let's come to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, drop your head. Pedal out your legs a little bit. So this is just a great way to warm up the back of your legs and to find that nice stretch from your heels all the way up to your hips. It's also a wonderful, wonderful pose to start to tone and strengthen the arms and to provide some length for the spine and for the back body. Good, so let's take a moment to pause with the left heel low. Really energize the heel towards the ground. Keep your sit bones high. Great, and then switch sides. Pause for a moment now with your right heel low, feeling that stretch up the outside seam of the thigh up into the hip, as well as down through the hamstring, the calf, and the Achilles tendon. Good, now spike up both heels like you put on stiletto shoes and press both heels low, and you'll feel stretch going down both seams of the legs from hips to heels. Great. On your next breath in, look forward. Step your feet behind your wrist to ragdoll pose. We're just going to encourage a deep release in the spine and also into the back of the neck as we prepare for our sun salutations. Let the feet stamp down into the ground. Belly drapes heavy over your thighs, and notice if you're holding any tension in your neck, let it soften. Jaw soften. Great. Full breath in. Fingertips to earth, knees stay soft, come all the way up to standing. Hands can come to your heart, and bring your feet up to the top of the mat. So for this first round of Sun A, we're gonna hold our high plank, start to turn on our core and fire up, and that'll prepare us for all of the rounds to come. On an inhale, reach up. On your exhale, fold forward, drop your head. Hands to your shin bones, halfway lift, spine goes long. Great, and then step back to a high plank. Push down into the ground, energize the legs. Then broaden the collarbones and allow your ears to stay up in line with your upper back. So what I see a lot of in high plank is people dropping their head, and that's gonna hurt your neck and your upper back over time. So keep your head nice and bright up in line with your upper back. Push into your strong hands and broaden the chest. So you don't wanna just lift the back of the heart either. Keep the front side of the body long as well. Allow heat to build from legs to arms. This is a total body posture. Every single muscle's working. One more breath in. Downward facing dog. Pedal out the legs. Great. So now that we know that all the muscles are turned on and fired up and we're ready to work. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold and bow. Stand to your highest, reach up. Forward fold all the way down. Halfway lift. Come to high plank, and in this first round, we're going to do some shoulder taps. So I like to take my feet a little bit wider, and you just alternate. Take one hand to the opposite shoulder. So you can always come down to your knees. That's totally fine. This is great for the core, and also it tones your arms. Check in with your legs, ensure that they're a part of this. Go for 4, 3 more taps, 2 more taps. Last one, down dog. Pedal out the legs. Good. Come to stillness. Take a breath and look forward. On your exhale, step or lightly hop. Halfway lift, forward fold. Stand to your highest, reach up. Forward fold all the way down. Halfway lift, heart forward. High plank. And in this round, some mountain climbers. So draw your knees into your chest and alternate foot to foot. If that little hopping action feels too intense, you can always slow it down and just focus on really good form. Otherwise, keep it high intensity. This little cardio burst for your flow. Just a few more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Big breath out. Drop down to your knees. Let's give the wrists a little stretch before we move on to our sun bee. Place the back of your left hand down. Scooch the hips back and just stretch out the forearm. Good. Switch to the other side. Back of the right hand to the earth. Scooch the hips back until you feel a stretch for the forearm. Just relieving the body from some of that plank work before we jump into those sun bees. Good. Flatten both of the hands down into your yoga mat. Tuck your toes. Press your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Beautiful. On your inhale, look forward. On your exhale, step or hop. Halfway lift. Forward fold, bow. Chair pose. Reach your arms up. Then dock your hands to your heart. Step your feet hips width distance. So as you go through sun B, every time we hit chair pose, we're gonna do 8 squats. So sink way back into your heels, rise up. Good. Sink it back and lift. Down, squeeze on the way up. Lower and lift. For the last 4, send the arms up and pull it down. Lift and pull. Good. Last one. Sink back into your chair, reach up. Forward fold, belly to thighs. Nice work. Halfway lift. Chaturanga Dandasana. Plant your hands, step back, lower halfway. Upward facing dog. Let this stretch out the front line of the body. Downward facing dog, hips up high. So we'll move into the leg portion of Sun B with our Warrior One. Step your right foot forward. Spiral your back heel down. Come on up. Sink down into your legs and lift up through both sides of your waist. Turn the armpits forward and let your heart chase your wrists. Breathe. Really nice. Notice if you can go any deeper in the legs so you're finding intensity in this pose, heating up the big burner muscles of your legs and your glutes. Lift your chest one more time. Exhale, hands down. Let's come to those mountain climbers. Hug the knees in. And again, if you need to go a little slower, totally fine. Otherwise, keep it active, keep it energized. You're here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hips up, chest back. Full breath in. Open mouth. Good. Warrior 1 on the left side. So just step your left foot forward right by your thumb. Connect your back heel down. Rise on up. As you push down into the legs, lift up through both sides of the waist. Reach your fingertips up. You're energized down through the back foot, so you're noticing also that the front hip gets a nice stretch. And the heart is bright. Perhaps even your gaze can come up towards your fingers, a little balance challenge here. One more breath in. Exhale, hands down. Step back to high plank. Mountain climbers, let's go. Putting a little extra juice into your sun salutes today. It's a great way to start your day. Stay strong and breathe. You're here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Breath in, breath out. Look to your hands. Bend your knees, lightly hop. Halfway lift. Forward fold, bow your brain. Chair pose, reach up. Hands to your heart, feet hips width distance. 8 squats, here we go. Sink it low and lift. Down and up. Squeeze your glutes on the way up. Those help us find stability in our pelvis, supports our low back, and everybody wants a nice booty. Let's go. Reach up now, pull. Back, pull. Last one, pull. Great, chair pose, inhale, reach. And on your exhale, fold, let it all go. Wonderful, halfway lift. Vinyasa to the back of the mat. So chaturanga, step back. Upward facing dog, lift. Downward facing dog, hips up high. Take a deep breath in. Big breath out. Warrior 1, step your right foot forward. Plant your back heel, reach your fingers up. Turn the rib cage forward, heart lifts. One more breath in. Exhale, hands down, mountain climbers. Keeping it active. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Lots of core strength here. Push into the ground with your hands. You got this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Big breath in. Big breath out. Left side. Step your left foot forward. Spiral your back heel down. Warrior 1, rise up. Root into your legs. Lift up through your waist. Stay bright in your chest. One more inhale. Exhale, hands down. You know what's coming, mountain climbers. By the end of this, you're going to feel so solid in your core. You're getting a whole core workout without one crunch. So good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Open mouth. That open mouth releases some heat. Let's do it again. Inhale. Open mouth. Great. Last round. I know you have it in you. Gaze forward on your inhale. Soften your knees. Lightly step or hop. Halfway lift. Fold and bow. Chair pose. Hands to your heart. We're going to do the entire set with our arms moving up and down, just increasing the intensity a little bit, building some heat. So sink low, reach up. Exhale, pull. Low, pull. Notice if you're staying squishy in the glutes or if you're squeezing them on the way up. Find some activity. You've got this. Let's go for 3, 2, last one. Nice work. Sit back into the chair, reach up, and then fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga, step back and lower. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, warrior 1. Root, rise, and take your deepest breath in. On your exhale, plant your hands, step back to your high plank. We're gonna change it up for this last round. Cross the body with your knees. So you might slow it down, but it's still pretty intense. The movements are simple, but that doesn't mean they're easy. You've got this. 4, 3, 2, 1. Downward facing dog. Last side. Left foot steps forward. Root your back heel. Rise up. Take your deepest breath in right here in warrior 1. Exhale, hands down. Last time here. Plank with a twist. You've got this. Hug your knee as close up to the opposite elbow and tricep as you can. Continue to be firm in your hands. Breathe. You're here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Last down dog. You made it. Big breath. And exhale, come down to your knees. Nice work. So come back to sit on your heels, roll your wrists a couple times. Make sure you're moving in both directions. That'll just take some of the chaturanga and the planks out of your wrists. I like to tuck my thumbs into my fists and twirl. Good, and then after your hands feel really good, just come on down to the mat. Recline on down. Take your feet about hips width distance, and we'll take a variation on supine twist today where we focus more on opening the hip flexor, which is going to release that muscle that's been working really hard from all those mountain climbers. So the feet will stay wide throughout the motion. Just drop the knees all the way to the right and start to focus on the left hip flexor. So you may even engage the left glute a little bit, and that will release it even more. So we have partnership muscles in our body, like our biceps and our triceps, but also our hip flexor and our glutes, they have a relationship with one another. So when you engage the glutes, it actually releases the hip flexor. We have all sorts of pairings like that in the body. Good, switch to the other side. Makes me think of the yin and yang of yoga. There's always a complementary opposite. We're always looking to come into balance. Notice the stretch now on the right hip, so you may even engage the right glute a little bit. This position is doing the body double duty. You're getting this hip flexor release, but you're also getting a small spinal twist. Great, come back to the middle. Take a moment in a happy baby, and it might even be a floating butterfly variation. So traditional happy baby, our feet are wide, but it can also feel nice to bring your feet together and let the knees go wide. Heels then will drop in towards the groin, and you'll feel a stretch for the inner thigh. Wonderful. Good. So now just draw your knees into your chest and pull down. So before you lift the head up, just come into this full wind removing pose, a nice compression pose for the belly, the thighs, and also it lengthens out. You feel a lot of spaciousness for the back. Good, and now draw the forehead up to your knees. Take a really deep breath in, and exhale, release. Spread your body out. Even if you are in the morning's rush, you always have 90 seconds for yourself, or two minutes for yourself. You always have time for deep rest. This type of kind of amped up flow that we did is a wonderful way to get you started in the morning, to squeeze in movement, especially on the days where you're like, I just don't have the time. You definitely have the time for this. And it's way more important to be consistent with your movement as opposed to just doing 2 hours of really intense work and then skipping 2 weeks. So you want to find a way to build a daily habit of movement. Shorter flows like this can be super duper helpful in keeping you consistent so that you can meet your goals. You might notice that your breath is still a little bit winded. That is totally fine. This type of practice builds stamina, helps us become a little more comfortable with things that push us to require more energy and more exertion. But also notice your ability to recover, your ability to come back into balance after that big, big, big activity. Just 2 more breaths. Let the exhales be open mouth. So you're just drawing everything in. On your next breath in, arms overhead, take a big stretch, point the toes, feel long from toe tip to fingertip. And then roll over to your right side. Your head can rest on your arm. And come on up to a seat. Way to go. I know that that was a swift and intense practice, but that is exactly what you need to stay motivated on any weight loss journey, any fitness journey. You definitely can squeeze in intense movement, and you did it. This is going to help you increase your stamina, and you're going to feel energized all day long. I can't wait to see you in the next video. Until then, namaste. Today's bonus tip, it's not even a tip at all. It's a question. Is counting ruining your life? Specifically, counting calories, counting steps, counting the number on the scale? Sometimes when we get into fitness and weight loss goals, this idea of counting can consume us, and it's really not that helpful. Instead, I want to offer you some food for thought at how you can keep your fitness and even your weight loss goals more enjoyable. So let's start with counting calories. I often get asked, Julia, how many calories does a yoga class burn? And I hate answering that question because there's really no easy answer. And I also don't think it's that important. Why is there no easy answer? Because it's really subjective. Every single human being has a different metabolism. Also, how many calories you burn is subjected to the type of yoga that you're doing, how hard you're working, how long the class was, how long during the class you were in a higher level of intensity. Who knows? So it's really hard to say, oh, I burn X amount of calories. But more importantly, what kind of value are you putting on workouts strictly because they burn a lot of calories? What about other things that are more important about your workout? Did you enjoy it? If you enjoy what you're doing, you are more likely to keep doing it. And when we're thinking about long-term health, consistency, not counting calories, is key. Be consistent with your workout. That means you have to find something that you enjoy doing. So what about those pesky step counters, and we have a lot of fitness tech now that we're wearing on our wrist, kind of calling the shots. In fact, I bet I could call up 5 of my friends right now and I could ask them, how many steps have you done today? And they could give me an exact number. Is this helpful? Personally, I don't think so. I think it's one more way that we're putting pressure on ourselves to achieve a number that's not always obtainable. Instead, we should be focusing on regular movement. Finding different ways that we can get up out of our chair at work, how we can take a walk after dinner, how we can maybe go on a hike with a loved one, so that it's not about getting steps in, but getting an experience in your body, so that you're really, really enjoying what you're doing. Again, consistency is key, and the only way you're going to stay consistent is if you like it. And then what about the pesky scale? Right? We're all counting that number. We have a goal number in mind, especially if you're a woman. I know you do. But the reality is that the number on the scale is not always a true reflection of our fitness. In fact, we know that lean muscle mass is going to increase the scale, but you're going to feel more fit in your body. If you have more lean muscle mass, that means you actually can consume and burn more calories, and you're going to feel stronger. You're going to look better in your clothes, and when you have the appropriate amount of lean muscle mass, studies have even shown that it fights off depression. So that number that you're counting on the scale, make sure you keep it in perspective. It's not always the best indicator of your health. Instead, how you feel in your body is. That's a huge and very important indicator of your health. How are you feeling today? What's your energy level? Do you feel like you have what you need to accomplish all of the tasks that you need to and love? These are much better things to consider, especially when we feel like counting is starting to control our lives. So put down any of the fitness tech for today. Stop counting calories and instead listen in. You will know what foods nourish you. You will know when your workout has been enough. And if you listen and you get really honest with yourself, you'll even know when maybe you need to work out a little bit harder or you have to try a little bit more with your meal planning. Trust yourself. Trust yourself more than you trust the computer on your wrist to tell you about your health. You know. Take a moment and listen in.
Wellness Plus is available on Amazon, which you can stream from your home on your phone, tablet, or TV. Join Wellness Plus today and get your first 7 days free.
Introducing Yoga Plus, offering a free series every month with over 300 different videos. Take control of your health. Work out anytime, anywhere. Yoga Plus. Download now for free.